everybody? Welcome to the show today, guys. This is falling perfectly into Trump's plan. He is playing 4D chess, and this is what we wanted. Trump is about to drain the swamp like never before because now he can do things in a government shutdown without congressional approval and literally get a lot of these unelected bureaucrats out of office. This is massive, everybody. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but the government shutdown of 2025 has now started. We have Elon Musk, who is now firing off on Democrats for putting illegals ahead of its citizens. And now Trump and Elon are again smacking the Democrats against each other, putting America first, calling people out. And yes, we have the text, definitive proof from the Democrat bills that they wanted to make sure that the 1.3 million illegal aliens that lost health care under the big beautiful bill receive it back. We have the documents, everybody. The Democrats are saying, oh, it's a Republican talking point. No. We're going to show you exactly what they put in the bill to allow for illegal alien eligibility of health care. They lied to us. We're showing you the facts. We're showing you the receipts. This is where we expose them for the corruption. Their America Last policies are stopping. Trump is not having it. We have all the details to show you in just a moment, and it is beautiful. I want to show you this too as well. OMB Director Russ Vought will meet with the House Republicans today to discuss slashing federal departments during the shutdown. Guys, I'm telling you, we are about to see Trump drain the swamp like never before. We also have it again. All this stuff that's coming out, the misinformation campaigns from the Biden administration, the CCP working with private companies in the United States to censor Americans. We literally have it where we found out yesterday that Biden's USCIS director, Joseph Edlow, revealed that at least 50% of the Islamic migrants in Minnesota committed immigration fraud with the help of, guess what, USAID, Soros-funded NGOs. All this, we wouldn't know any of it if we didn't have Trump's people in place. We have a report from the Fair Elect Fund that reveals massive censorship by Microsoft to silence and suppress conservative voices on the business social media app LinkedIn on behalf of the China Communist Party. Hundreds of thousands of posts were removed over the last 5 years for misinformation and hateful derogatory speech, which included criticism of the Biden admin and CCP. Now you tell me how much we have been censored. We are exposing this all. We have all the receipts. And I'm glad to say that news is coming out because Elon Musk canceled his Netflix account because they're trying to push trans ideologies on our kids, where literally the show says it's okay for 7 years old or older, 7 years old, trying to push trans ideology. Elon Musk is reportedly considering funding a massive competitor to Netflix to put them out of business. I'm telling you, everybody, 4D chess. Trump, Elon are finally pushing through, draining the swamp with Russ Vought and all the people. J.D. Vance especially being a big negotiator in this government shutdown. We're going to show you the facts. We're going to show you the receipts. I'm tired of people lying. I'm tired of Congress lying. And again, there are Republicans right now that are trying to push through a bill so that if the government goes into a shutdown, Congress doesn't get paid because they shouldn't. They have all year to make sure that they build a budget that serves we, the American people. And they always wait to the last minute, and they took a dang month-long vacation in August, and yet they want to come back, and now we're in a government shutdown, and we're going to show you all the details, all the things you need to know pertain to military, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, everything. The VA, we got it all for you. Today's a big show, guys. Day one of the government shutdown. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers, viewers. We are so glad that you support us with your viewership. If you're not subscribed, if you're not a part of the family yet, hit that subscribe button. Join our family so we can serve you every day with the breaking news. And want to say thank you to everybody that is a member of the channel that helps in our giving. When you're a member or you give a super chat donation, we donate the proceeds with more money that we give to local charities on the 22nd of every single month. We are making great change. We're giving God the glory, guys. We're making amazing, amazing changes for innocent kids that don't have anybody. This last month, we gave so much to a children's home to help innocent kids that ain't got nobody, but they've got us. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting the thumbs up like button, this really does grow our voice. It grows our reach. We're going to bring you the facts, the receipts, guys. Today's a big day. Trump's not playing around. We're bringing you the receipts, and I am so excited with what you're about to see. Check this out.
Why do Republicans have to condemn a hat? It's what Mexicans wear to keep the sun out of their eyes. Trump's just poking fun because they're holding the government hostage over illegal alien health care.
Boom.
They just got trounced for open borders, and now they're playing chicken with a president who doesn't blink.
We'll probably have a shutdown because one of the things they want to do is they want to give incredible Medicare, the Cadillac Medicare, to illegal immigrants. And what that does is it keeps them coming into our country. And in many cases, they come in from prisons, jails, and mental institutions. And we can't let that happen.
One White House official said he read all the ish they're asking for, and he said, on second thought, go F yourself. If Democrats want to shut down the government so Jose can get free sex change operations, do it. Trump.
I told you guys, I'm going to bring you the receipts. This was released this morning by Rapid Response 47. That look at this. This is straight from the Democratic proposal. The repeal of health subtle changes. Okay? Look at this right here. Subtitle B, Health, Medicaid. Section 71109 says Alien Medicaid Eligibility. So I don't want to hear it anymore about them saying, oh, no, we're not trying to give illegals health care. You literally have it in the bill. Eligibility for aliens. What in the world is that doing in the Democratic proposal? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I'm telling you, we got a lot of receipts today because we fact-checked everybody, and we want you to know the truth of what's going on.
Doesn't need the dinero. He already got everything he wanted from the big, beautiful bill. Sorry, guys. Bank's closed.
Here we are at the entrance to the House of Representatives. Not a single soul. It's locked.
This is just another game of heads I win, tails you lose. Either Democrats cave and give Trump the win, or they hold everyone hostage, and Trump starts doging at warp speed.
The last person that wants to shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible.
Yes.
That are bad for them and irreversible by them. Like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
Trump was asked if he thinks anyone would blame him. He said, no, people are smarter than that. Everyone knows the Democrats are deranged. We just need Chuck and Hips' John Hancock.
This bill, this 24 pages is sitting at the desk in the Senate right now. It could be picked up and passed. The government stays open. So this is a made-up problem by the Democrats who desperately need to satisfy a political base that is hostile to Donald Trump.
This isn't like a 1,000-page bill that Congress just force feeds us on Christmas Eve.
It's so small.
It's simple. And Democrats aren't even unified. Fetterman says Schumer's stupid.
Right now, it's like you're running the risk of plunging our nation into chaos. The president has a lot of levers he could pull. This is one we could pull, but why would we pull that lever? Because that allows him to pull a lot more levers and make a lot of changes about the government.
A Times poll says 65% of Americans say Democrats are dopes if they shut down the government.
This is from the New York Times Siena poll, everybody. This is how you know we're moving in the right direction, and everybody, the consensus, the majority, are siding with President Trump and MAGA. And what I love is this too as well. J.D. Vance came out and said Chuck Schumer once recognized that it was disastrous to give illegal aliens rewards for breaking the law. Now he wants to shut down the government unless we reward illegal aliens for breaking the law. Are you kidding me? Guys, if you appreciate this, if you're ready for MAGA, baby, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Chuck Shoots, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Let's go. Member of the channel. Show Chuck some love in the chat. JD Vance is in it. Not only JD Vance, but Elon Musk said once Chuck realized, this is, guys, I'm telling you, once Chuck realized that importing voters was a surefire way for Dems to win elections and create a permanent one-party state in America, just like happened in California and New York, he became very much in favor of bribing illegals to come to America. Now you tell me, JD Vance and Elon Musk are on the same page. I'm telling you, JD Vance 2028, baby. We've got things going. And I want to show you one more time. Here is straight from the subtitle Be Held from the Democrats' proposal, highlighted in yellow, alien Medicaid eligibility. Why in the world would you have that in there if you're America first? No way, no how. Trump's not having it, baby. If you love this, put MAGA in the chat. We are pushing first, America first policies only.
For illegals. You know who else agrees? Crooked.
We do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country.
Back when Lewinsky was in the White House, Schumer made more sense.
People say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud.
So what changed? Chuck needs new voters because Americans have Democrats figured out.
I have to show you this. Trump is such a troll, everybody. This is so big, baby. Check this out. Trump trolls Democratic leaders by displaying, when he met with them, a Trump 2028 hat, guys. You cannot make this up. When they were negotiating, he had it right on his desk. He knows he's in their head. He's playing 4D chess. And he knows that when it comes to all the things that we showed you, that Soros was funding a campaign, a leftist group, to help shut down the government and force the Democrats to do it, they're controlled by dark money, by foreign money. And when you're about to see what I got you in a minute, guys, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, holy, it is bad how much foreign actors have been controlling and infiltrating the United States of America. Andy, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Said, red alert, the Democrats want to shut down InfoWars today in Houston federal court at 1 p.m. You got to be kidding me. Y'all show Andy some love in the chat. We'll keep up with that. Listen to this.
Media is like, Hakeem, do you even know what you're doing?
If the government shuts down, it's their decision to do it.
If you shut down the government, you last time, Democrats point out, you lose FEMA, you lose troop pay, you lose all these different things that are so important to Democrats when they're on the other side of this.
Ooh.
Hakeem's getting eaten alive. The grown-ups say take the deal. But the base, if they take it, is threatening an open mutiny.
Americans have told us over and over again, we want you to fight for health care. That's what we're doing today. Democrats are going to hold the line.
A government shutdown could damage the Democrats even more than Kamala, even more than the coup. Nancy would never let it get this far. Hakeem's running straight into a buzzsaw, and he's complaining about a sombrero and taking shutdown selfies. Look at that. Men should never take selfies. He didn't Photoshop his hips this time. He just cropped them out. No one respects selfie sombrero.
Why is it that the Democrats, in my mind, are facing more pressure, those Democratic leaders? And that is because their base thinks that their party leaders are weak. Among Republicans, 80% of their base thinks Republicans have strong leaders. Yet among Democrats, just 35% of Democrats say their party has strong leaders.
I'm telling you, everybody, we're bringing the receipts today. Look at this. So they passed a law in Congress that if you're getting paid by a foreign country to promote that country in the United States through social media, you have to register with Congress. Well, guess what? The former United States Education Secretary William Bennett just registered as a foreign agent for Qatar. He's being paid $30,000 a month to convince Americans that Qatari universities don't support Islamic extremism. This is the receipt, guys. All this stuff is coming out because we're holding people accountable. You mean to tell me that a former United States Education Secretary who's supposed to be America first is now getting paid to try and protect another country's universities that saying that they don't support Islamist extremism? Let me tell you this. If we're not going to expose the dang swamp like never before, we're doing it now. If you appreciate this, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Jeffrey Hatt, OG of the channel. Let's go, brother. So we're in such good hands with DJT in charge. Bye to all the government oligarchs. MAGA, let's go. Show Jeffrey some love in the chat. I am so happy today. We're holding the line. We've got the backbone of steel with Trump and his team, and even Elon Musk is digging in deeper to fight the corruption.
The party into pieces. Hakeem and Chuck could lose their leadership. Either way, it's a win-win for Donnie Boy. The government shuts down, Trump doges, Democrats get blamed, so they cave and reopen. Or Democrats cave now. The government stays open, and their base storms the Capitol. They can cave now or later, because everybody knows Trump's not giving free health care to 20 million migrants. But the president's not letting Chuck and Hips go home empty-handed. After their meeting yesterday in the Oval, he handed them both Trump 2028 hats. They said no, but when they cave and come back, they're getting a hat that says Trump was right about everything.
I'm telling you what, the more and more that I show you guys, and I love it, that he was right about everything. Look at this. By CNS News, trade deficit plummets to 42.9% in second quarter under Trump's reciprocal tariffs. The money is flowing in. We're cutting the federal government size. Yesterday, the official date, you had 100,000 people resign and take their severance from the government, saving us annually $108 billion a year because we're cutting the size of government. We're reducing it. And now that we're exposing everybody and we're showing you that, look, I don't care what any Democrat says. Guess what? Illegal alien arrested by ICE found registered as active Democratic voter in blue states. Where was this at? Oh, it was in Maryland. How is it that every time that they say we do not have illegals on our voter rolls, we keep finding them? And those are the only ones that we find. And now we are going for it all. We are going to drain the swamp for it all with what you're about to hear next, guys. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, we got a big show today, guys. Big stuff is happening. I'm excited. We got the fireworks going. Listen to this.
Okay, so the mainstream media, this is why on the terrorist investigation, we have to not just look at the financiers and the NGOs, as Ben Berkham has said over and over again, the sources, these all the foundations, and the NGOs. You have to look at the media. The media is an active partner of these folks. They come in the morning when it's all calm, and these people are vampires. They come out at night. They're like the Walking Dead. You just heard the officer right there. No federal official that is trying to stop the invasion of our beloved republic under orders by the president of these United States in a government that would control the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the executive branch should be under that pressure. She shouldn't have to play these games. You just heard it right there. This is not acceptable. These people have to be every night we ought to roll them all up. Put them in a federal lockup, and then, indict them, do whatever you got to do. But they shouldn't be out on the streets to terrorize. They're terrorizing federal officials that are trying to begin the process of mass deportation. Mark, I just want to finish up the Antifa part, because we're going up the escalatory ladder. As Ben said, and I think it's a very good insight, which we used to always say here about the border, It's not out of control and chaos. Biden and those guys had a very thought-through plan with the NGOs of exactly how they get as many people through here and as deep into the country as possible. And this is why I think criminal charges should be brought against these guys. I don't know what we're waiting for. But Ben said the same thing about Antifa. This is not out of control. It's very controlled in the fact that they're trying to intimidate the ICE detention centers, keep people away from there. So therefore, not only can you not do the mass deportations you need, but you intimidate the folks there and the rest of the citizens to say, hey, they've really shut down the Trump administration's ability to do this, and therefore it just kind of goes away. You've made a case that what the American people kind of thirst for right now is action, action, action. Can you tell us about that?
Yes.
Yeah, and we even have results that aren't released yet. And I just looked at some of the data we got in the overnights. And we have a question out there. Is the government doing enough to stop political violence in America? It looks like it's going to come back at more than a 2-to-1 that no, it's not. And so people are really concerned about this, and there is the appetite there for action. Now, what blows my mind is Americans just know something's wrong. And that's one of the reasons that Donald Trump got in with a mandate. They wanted the insanity at the border to stop. But it's actually larger than that, as we've covered a lot with you. It's about a system that no longer works for Americans. Judicial system has been completely wrecked. There's a two-tiered system of justice, complete collapse in institutional trust everywhere. Everything is just being completely pulled out like a rug from underneath the American citizens. Even the churches that they go to are increasingly, deciding. What I think is we used to frame this as basically an information war or, narratives, right? Or maybe just a disagreement between policy positions between two different sides. I think increasingly what it seems like is that there is a political conflict between two worldviews that are in complete diametric opposition. And they're only getting more pure. You have the left side that believes that Trump's a fascist, that doesn't really care about government spending anymore, that's okay with completely subverting the judicial system. They don't care. They just want this. They want the way that things are going to completely stop. Now, those people are reducing in number. They are losing their capability to enforce those narratives. It's a question about how much. And then you have people that just want action to fix this stuff. It's not about socialism versus free market capitalism. That's not what it's about. It's not about Republican policy versus Democrat policy. It's a return to sanity. And if Trump gives them that, I think that they will appreciate it. Now,
and I want to show you this because I'm telling you, we're bringing the receipts today. Straight from the Democratic proposal, the Rapid Response 47 team shows us Subtitle E. This is what the health provisions that they want changed, repealed from the big beautiful bill. Well, guess what? Chapter 1 Medicaid, they want Section 71109 includes alien Medicaid eligibility. They lied to us straight to our faces. And I'm going to show you all the receipts where Hakeem Jeffries and all them says, no, we're not trying to give illegals health care. Yes, you are. It's literally in the proposal that you tried to push forward. The $1.5 trillion that you tried to put more onto the taxpayer. When we're trying to just pass a budget just to pay our bills and you're wanting to add new spending, this doesn't make sense. I am so glad that we shut down the government. I'm so glad we're holding these people accountable because alien Medicaid eligibility, just because you have it on that, you've lost with the American people. Andy, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Let's go. Said unprecedented lawfare, which will set an insanely dangerous precedent for the free press. They think this will stop InfoWars and MAGA getting informed. It is their form of revenge. They're trying. Let me tell you this. We are so far ahead because of X, because of Elon Musk. Our free voice is growing. Show Andy some love in the chat, as well as B1 Sly One for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership from B1 Sly One, show him some love in the chat, everybody. Big growth in the channel memberships. We are growing our voice. Fred Samuel, thank you so much, brother, said the shutdown is the best thing that has happened to the Republicans in a while. Now Trump can cut more federal employees and leftist programs. I love it. And Gina, thank you so much, Gina. I love it. Member of the channel said Steven's Gardening Adventure. And I bless everyone in this new month. Thank you, Steven, for your services to America. Amen. We appreciate you, Steven's Gardening Adventure. Gina, appreciate you. Show Gina some love in the chat, as well as B1 Sly One and Fred, Samuel, and Andy. Guys, this is beautiful. What we are seeing now is that people aren't even looking at Democrat or Republican anymore. They're looking for common sense policies.
That I'm worried about, and that we've talked about too, is that every day I'm surprised at how artificial that all of this on the left is, how connected it is, and how willing they are to push it all of the way up to the brink. And so I'm really worried that we have what is basically the proverbial animal backed into a corner, and it's at its most dangerous. Because we're talking about Antifa today, but we're also talking about the government shutdown. Looks like we're going to have another government shutdown. I would love to cover a shutdown government daily for the next 3 years. I would love it. And Americans would love it as well. Believe it or not, Americans actually want the government shut down if it would get them caps in spending or cuts. And I've said this over and over again, and everybody freaking ignores me. Americans are done. They don't care if the government shut down. The opinions have completely changed on this. And what do you have? You have basically Soros types. I don't know who or how or what, taxpayer leverage they're using, but they're funding these violent protests. They're funding Antifa. They're funding these organizations. They're probably funding organizations that also enforce their echo chambers. I think that that's what's happening on Reddit. It's probably what's happening on places like Wikipedia. I think it could probably be safely assumed at this point. And now they're also apparently funding groups that are calling for the government to be shut down. That's right. The Democrats apparently want to do that this time, which is why I guess that they made unreasonable requests and said it's our way or the highway.
Unreasonable request. $1.5 trillion in new spending on a 7-week continuing resolution bill. Only 7 weeks, guys. This isn't for a year. This is for 7 weeks. And I told you we're bringing you the receipts today. We have it from the Daily Caller News Foundation that Soros-backed leftist group behind campaign to force the government shutdown. We have foreign entities that are continuing to get and move and have their way in our country. This has got to stop, everybody. With what I'm about to show you next, it's getting deeper and deeper, and people are fed up with it.
There was just an article, I forget where I saw it, but that OSF has apparently donated as much as almost $8 million to a group, Indivisible, that is now out there actually rallying Democrats to call their elected leader.
That's the Soros group, Indivisible.
And tell them to shut the government down. And so I don't know what happens. Trump might have a plan. The Democrats might have a plan, but it looks like tonight we're going into a government shutdown territory, and Americans are fed up. They're angry with the level of waste, fraud, and abuse. They think that our spending problems are the problem caused by legislators. It's not taxpayers' unwillingness to see cuts. Only 23% of them say that. Almost 70% say it's because basically our elected leaders are not doing their jobs. And, people talk about the blame game. And yes, Republicans and Trump combined will bear more blame than Democrats. But here's the thing. Americans want this shut down. So that's a good thing. You want to be blamed for this. Pull the plug, shut it down, take an axe to these people. Let's balance the budget on the backs of 800,000 largely people that are bought into the establishment. And I'm sorry, I feel bad for the people that are good that it will truly affect. But this is not the same world as it was, back in 2018, 2013. People, I don't think, are going to be affected as deeply by looking at TikTok videos of park rangers who are crying about not being able to pay rent. I'm sorry, it's just a different world. We're talking about, literally, there is no future for these children. I don't have to rant about how bad it is with the mental health problems, with the relationship problems, the inability of people to buy houses, the inability of them to feel confident that there will be a job market. It has to change. It has to change fast. The H-1B thing that Trump did, that's probably going to be a jobs, influence. That was very popular. That was incredibly popular, finding the H-1Bs.
And I'm telling you guys, I'm not joking. I've never seen J.D. Vance so involved with everything that's happening. Pence was nowhere near as involved as J.D. Vance is now. And look, J.D. Vance just posted and said, look, new health insurance option for undocumented immigrants over 65. So right there, he's showing you that in the state of New York State, and there's 14 other states that are doing this, of taking insurance, Medicaid, that's supposed to be for our citizens, and they're saying, hey, here's an option if you are undocumented immigrant. Basically, if you're an illegal, we're going to take care of you. Let me know your thoughts on this. This is coming from our Vice President of the United States, guys. I love this. He is so involved, and he's gearing himself up as a voice for the 2028 election. Terry Parson, member of the channel, let's go, said, thank you, Joel, and appreciate all you do. Thank you so much, Terry. Show Terry some love in the chat, as well as Gina and B1 Sly One for their gifts. Guys, I want to move into this because, again, this is so important. Making sure that our seniors, making sure that those that have paid into the system are taken care of is so important, and that's why I want to move into our sponsor. We are moved in with Chapter. Guys, this is a phenomenal, phenomenal company. We now know we're about to get into the all open enrollment. Medicare premiums are set to rise this next year, and many Medicare Advantage plans are about to go away. And this is big. And Chapter, what I love is it's free. They help out anybody and everybody. If you're about to be on Medicare, or if you're already on it, you call them, you tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife, and it takes literally like just 20 minutes for them to go through, do their thing, and take care of you. And they've saved seniors on average $1,100 a year. Guys, we don't just have any sponsors on here. We have the best. Call 667-895-3015. I promise you they're going to take care of you, because one thing that is sure is that right now, we are in a war over health care for our seniors, because the Democrats are trying to push through and fight it for illegals, and we're saying no. We're going to band together. We're going to make sure you're taken care of. So again, the link is in the description for you to check them out, or you can call them at that 667-895-3015. I promise you, they're going to take care of you. It's free, and this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to bring together and come together and put America first, put our seniors first, and help each other out. We appreciate, and I'm telling you, we've already had one person on the channel who's already saved $1,400 a year. They're doing some big, big stuff. Steve's Gardening Adventures, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, God, please bless this channel. He is doing your work, Lord, and he loves our nation. Amen. Show Steve's Gardening Adventures some love in the chat, member of the channel. Let's go. I'm telling you guys, today's a big day. I love it. I know you love it, because we are moving forward as a nation, and Trump is doing what needs to be done. Lily Shira, welcome to the family. Show Lily some love in the chat, everybody.
Let's go farther. Let's go more. 2 million deportations. I was joking with you on text, 400,000 deportations, 1.6 million self-deportations. And what did we see almost overnight? The number one beer in America is no longer Modelo. It's actually Michelob Ultra. And so elections have consequences, and I think these are good consequences. These are the kinds of things that will make it better for Americans. They should not stop. And you know as well as I know that Trump is probably getting calls from Republican lawmakers day in and day out that are like, what are you doing? Do you really need to do this? My donors are screaming. They don't want this. This is not the way things should be. Nobody's out there basically fighting for the American voter, except for, you, the network of independent pundits who cover this stuff. There is no K Street in Capitol Hill for the American citizen. There just isn't. These people are highly isolated, living in a carefully constructed sphere of, bubble of basically cherry-picked, things that make them feel good about their job they're doing. I think a lot of these people are good people. But, Alex said it before. The left has a casting couch to draft into service. It's absolute most insane. The right, its whole system is set up basically still to maintain the status quo. And that's because all of the money on the right wants to maintain the status quo. That's just the way it is. The Ken Griffins of the world, the foundations, like all of these people, apparently the Koch money want things to stay the same because you can see it. They bring RFK in front of Congress, and what do you see? You see like Republicans who are backed by pharma grilling him. That's what you see, and it's just completely asymmetrical. And so
I want to show you this, everybody, because again, it matters. When the New York Times Siena poll says views on whether the Democrats should or should not shut down the government if their demands are not met. 65% said should not. This is their base. This is a New York Times, everybody. This ain't no Fox. It's not no Rasmussen. This is New York Times, who their base is telling them, stop messing up. You're not doing anything good. And what I love is we're bringing you everything already. Speaker Johnson and the entire team have come out this morning, and we did a really good job with the team of cleaning up this audio, because I'm telling you, we want to give you the best show ever. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support and help to help us grow our voice and grow our reach. Listen to this.
Workers who are getting their furlough notices. Nearly half of our civilian workforce is being sent home. These are hardworking Americans who work for our federal government. Our troops and our Border Patrol agents will have to go to work, but they'll be working without pay. Food assistance, veterans benefits, and vital support for women and children are all coming to a halt. Now, thankfully, President Trump is trying to mitigate the damage as much as possible. His administration is working to limit the harm to the American people. But the longer this goes on, the more pain will be inflicted, because it is inevitable when the government shuts down. The sad thing about it is that every single bit of this was entirely avoidable. Democrats could have worked with us in a bipartisan manner to avert this unnecessary and very harmful shutdown. But instead, they did something that is rather shocking to us. They prioritized taxpayer-funded benefits for illegal aliens over keeping the government open for American citizens. They themselves position that as a binary choice, and it's patently absurd. Listen to what the Democrats are demanding. They demanded, in exchange for our simple, clean, 24-page bipartisan continuing resolution, the same one that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats voted for just a few months back in March. In exchange for that, they rejected it, and they demanded something else. They wanted us to add over $1.5 trillion in new federal spending, paid for, of course, by hardworking American taxpayers, simply for funding the government at current Biden level spending levels. We are not going to do that.
Current Biden level spending levels, and I told you we're bringing you the receipts today. This is the number one thing from the Democratic proposal. You just heard Johnson say they're wanting to fund health care for illegals. Section 71109, alien Medicaid eligibility. So you tell me, are we not bringing the receipts? They want to try and pull back. Look at this. This is subchapter 8 of reducing fraud and improvement enrollment processes. We put in a lot of things to make sure that only citizens were taken care of when it comes to health care. And now the Democrats want to roll it back, and Trump said, nope, not today.
Can't do that. We won't do it. Almost 2 weeks ago, the House did our job. In the House, we passed a common sense, nonpartisan bill to keep the government open. Republicans did our job. We had one Democrat join us there, so it was bipartisan. But every other Democrat in the House voted to shut the government down. And last night, 44 Democrats in the Senate did the same thing. This is a clean resolution. It would simply buy Congress a few more weeks, 7 weeks, to finish the job. Why do we need that time? So that appropriators in both parties can finish their work. They've been restoring regular order. They've passed 12 separate bills out of committee in the House, and the Senate has done its work as well. 3 bills of the 12 passed in each chamber. They don't line up exactly, so there's a conference committee constituted, the first time in years that that's happened. We just need more time because we ran out of clock at the end of the fiscal year, September 30. This is very important to note. Democrats themselves have voted to pass a clean bipartisan CR just like this 13 times in the last few years. During the 4 years of the Biden administration, 13 times this happened. Republicans did the responsible thing, even when we were in the minority, to keep the government open. And today should be no different. There is nothing new in this legislation. There's no poison pill. There's no partisan tricks. There's no gimmicks whatsoever. The only difference today is the man who is sitting in the Oval Office.
Ooh.
Rather than...
And again, I want to show you the receipts, everybody, because the number one thing that they are fighting for is the health care for illegal aliens. Straight, this is what Senator Ted Cruz posted. Listen to this.
You kind of danced around the illegal. You do want to provide health care to illegal immigrants that are here right now.
That's a Republican talking point, and it's shameful that you would continue. Of course not. I just said repeatedly that it is not.
But aren't Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens?
Democrats are demanding health care for everybody.
I told you, everybody. Like, if we aren't bringing the dang receipts today, this is massive. Everybody needs to see what we're actually dealing with. It doesn't, because mainstream media is going to show you one thing or another. I'm literally showing you things from the representatives, things that they've said. We're pulling it all together, the context, so you are fully informed.
Work with President Trump and Republicans to get this job done. As our party has done repeatedly in the same situation over the years, Democrats want to play political games with the lives and the livelihoods of Americans. The simple truth is Democrats in Congress have dragged our country into another reckless shutdown to satisfy their far-left base. That is the truth. Whether or not the government remains open or reopens is entirely up to them. There's still time for Democrats to pass this clean bipartisan bill that's sitting before them, and we encourage our Democrat colleagues to do that. I certainly pray they'll come to their senses soon and do the right and responsible thing. The reason they will have one more opportunity today is because of the sound leadership that is being provided in the U.S. Senate by our colleagues who are standing here with us. This is a joint press conference, as you know, between the leadership, Republican leadership in the House and the Senate. And I'm delighted to yield to my good friend and an extraordinary leader in the Senate, Leader John Thune.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and our House colleagues for doing the work. You sent us a clean, continuing resolution. Unfortunately, we are here this morning in a government shutdown that the Democrats wanted. Chuck Schumer, at the behest of a bunch of liberal, far-left activist groups, has walked his Democrat colleagues into a boxed canyon. There's no way out, folks. There's no way out. This could have been avoided. It's totally unavoidable. And everybody's now asking the question, how does this end? Well, it ends when the Senate Democrats pick this bill up, passed by the House of Representatives, and vote for it.
Look, I don't know about y'all, but that's one of the smallest bills I've ever seen, and I'm happy for it. It's clean resolution. We've been checking into it. There's nothing hidden. There's nothing extra, not like last year in December. This is beautiful. This is what we need, and we need to continue to reduce the size of government. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Oh, what I'm about to show you in a moment, I'm about to show you the details. Which government agencies are being reduced, by how much, who it's going to affect, and how you may be affected.
On the floor of the Senate, we're going to vote later this morning on this, 24 pages. Does this look partisan? Does this look dirty to you? 24 pages. 24 pages. To fund the government. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing else. The House kept it simple. We kept it simple in the Senate. This is something, as the Speaker noted, that 13 times in the past Senate Democrats have done when they were in the majority and Joe Biden was in the White House. This is a very straightforward issue. It's not complicated. They want it to end. Vote with us to open up the government by voting this out of the Senate today, putting it on President Trump's desk, and he will sign it into law. President, House Republicans, Senate Republicans, we're all united on this. And what's interesting now is some of the Democrats are joining us. Our vote last night was a bipartisan vote. There were 3 Democrats that came over and voted with us because they know this strategy is a losing one, and it hurts the American people. It's not about who wins or who loses or who gets blamed in all this. It's about the American people.
Yes.
They have taken the American people hostage in a way that they think benefits them politically, but at the consequence and the cost of what's going to happen to the American families if this government shutdown continues. And so I'm glad to be here with our Republican colleagues. Our Democrat colleagues in the House have been around here the last few days, I guess, flailing around, celebrating the fact that they voted to shut down the government. How ironic. Well, this can all end today, folks. It needs to end today. We will continue to work together with our House counterpart.
Let me tell you this, everybody. This right here is the chart of the agency and who's getting furloughed. The biggest one that's going to get hit is EPA. 89% of its people are going to be furloughed. And we want to make sure that, again, who's being taken care of? Veterans Affairs, only 3%. VA is taken care of. Homeland Security being taken care of. Social Security, only 12%. So again, the biggest, like, it's just a small number. Like, it's all going to be taken care of. And I want to make sure, too, that when you see this at the bottom, Trump said he was going to take care of Social Security and our veterans, and he is doing that. Only cutting a small minority of furloughed people, but the majority are going to be working to make sure to be taken care of. Stephanie, welcome to the family. Let's go. I love it. Show Stephanie some love in the chat. And I want to give one more thing. Everybody in the chat, no cussing. This is a family-friendly channel. If you cuss, I will block you. I want to make sure we can have good fun, have talk about, express our ideas. But if you do continue to, or do personal attacks, no personal attacks against me or anybody in the chat. You can say whatever you want about Trump or Schumer or whatever, but no personal attacks and no cussing in the channel. Thank you in the chat, or you will be blocked. I want to show you this, guys, because I'm telling you that you rarely see some people get fired up, like they really get fired up, but now we're seeing Newt Gingrich get fired up, and it is hilarious. Listen to this.
With reaction tonight is former House Speaker Newt Gingrich. This is a game that they play, but this is different this time. Is normally a clean CR, everybody would go along with. That keeps spending at its current levels while they negotiate out, you know, keeping the government open, new budgets, et cetera. This is a different tactic because this is not your old Democratic Party.
Well, look, the simpler way to describe it is this is insanity. We know from the work we do at America's New Majority Project that there are two things the American people feel about this shutdown. One, they do not want increased spending. Two, they do not want the government closed. So what do you have? You have the Schumer shutdown where Chuck gets up and says, I'm going to close the government to get more money. Now, that means he's on the wrong side of both issues. This is not easy. But it hit me. I know you have been a New Yorker, so I hope you won't be offended. But it hit me talking to Maria Bartiromo yesterday morning. You have this weird moment where both the House leader and the Senate leader are from New York City, a city so liberal it's about to elect a big government socialist mayor who you could legitimately call a communist. Their world is all of these weird left-wingers. Now you go west of the Hudson, and you get, for example, to South Dakota with the Senate Majority Leader Thune. You get to Louisiana with the Speaker of the House, Johnson. They're different worlds. And I think literally Schumer and Jeffries are just totally out of touch with America.
Is it they that are out of touch with America, or, well, I think they are. I think they bought into the radicalization of their party. But they also know that they're leaders in name only, that they really are not the power brokers that maybe they once would have been. They're not Harry Reid. They're not Nancy Pelosi. They don't have a tight grip on their caucus. If anything, Chucky's hanging by a string. Hakeem, he's got a little more consolidation of power, I would argue. But the reality is Chuck Schumer's probably not going to make it. I mean, he's looking at his final days as being the leader in the Senate, in my view. Your thoughts?
Well, look, Shakespeare once wrote that a brave man dies but once, a coward has 1,000 deaths. Don't become a leader if you're afraid to be a leader. This is a major mistake by the Democrats. They have already become a big government socialist party with weird values. Gallup has reported they have the lowest favorable rating at 34% in the history of the Gallup poll. Seth Keshel reports that as recently as today, in New Mexico, for example, there have been 1,300 more Republicans signing up, leaving the Democrats in the last couple of weeks, 3 times the normal rate. So what you're seeing around the country is people are going, if that's who the Democrats are, I'm not one of them. And I think we're seeing something truly historic. And remember this, Sean, the people who are now in the Trump administration had 4 years in the wilderness. And that means, for example, the Russ Vought, the head of the Office of Management Budget, spent 4 years thinking about what should we do if there's a shutdown. So they're totally prepared for this kind of a fight, and the Democrats have no idea what's going to start hitting them on Monday.
I think you're right on that. By the way, when Chuck Schumer is on the floor of the Senate making the case that the New York Times poll is biased in favor of conservatives, okay, that might be the greatest line ever uttered on the Senate floor in the history of the Senate.
Guys, this is big. This is massive. And I got some other breaking news that just came from the leading report. I'm telling you, everybody, if we're not exposing this all, this is insane. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, listen to this. A recent South Korean, not North Korea, not the communist North, South Korea. We like South Korea. Recent South Korean study of about 8.4 million people that reports a correlation between COVID-19 vaccination and increased cancer incidence 1 year later. Guys, I'm telling you, there was something was going on. We are figuring this all out, and it's so sad because it's happening to a lot of Americans too, a lot of people throughout the world. And it is breathtaking, guys. Those numbers are not good. That's why I'm like, when I see stuff like this happening, I'm sick of it. I want us to truly be American, where we are only influenced by America, not by foreign countries or foreign political adversaries. Darcy Sharlog, thank you so much for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Let's go. Show Darcy some love in the chat. We appreciate you so much, Darcy, member of the channel. And don't forget to show Gina some love in the chat for 10 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Gina, you're so awesome. Member of the channel too as well. Thank y'all for helping us grow our voice, grow our reach. Remember, when you give a super chat or a membership, we're donating this proceeds to a local charity on the 22nd live on stream so we can show you our channel is more than just reporting the news. We are helping to bring good change. And Lori Rapier, thank you so much for the super chat. Member of the channel said, hi chat, Trump keep cutting costs. Amen, sister. Let's go. Show Lori, Gina, and Darcy some love in the chat, everybody. Today's a big, big day, and I love it. Because listen to this. The more that we dig into this, and the more and more that we fight this corruption, people aren't having it, and they are calling it out. Listen to this.
It was before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Republican Senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy, serves on that committee. Senator, thank you very much for joining us today. You know, just your personal reaction as you listen to these people's stories, sir.
Well, sometimes you forget that behind the sterile crime statistics are flesh and blood. And this lady today reminded us of that. When we have these hearings, we always invite some Republican witnesses, some Democratic witnesses. The Democratic witnesses always say the same thing, that they don't believe in free will, they don't believe in responsibility, that when criminals commit crimes, it's not their fault, it's society's fault, and they shouldn't be punished. We ought to give them a bunch of money. And they always say the same thing, Martha. They're almost like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. They're crazed in their jaundiced point of view. They're a few degrees off bubble. Most Americans, most people with common sense understand that what you allow is what will continue. And the more law enforcement officials you can put on the street, the less crime you're going to have. It's not complicated. Thousands of years of human history prove that. And I don't know why my Democratic colleagues will not accept the reality.
Senator, one of your colleagues, Senator Hawley, had an exchange with a man, Gregory Jackson Jr., who has in the past talked about defunding the police. At one point, he was the executive director of community justice for a group that was funded by George Soros's Tides Foundation. Let's watch this back and forth with your colleague earlier.
Okay. I in no way stand with defunding law enforcement.
This is your report, a policymaker's playbook to reduce gun violence without policing communities. After your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans, now you say you've never heard of defunding the police. Your own report recommends it on page after page after page.
I feel like I'm looking at a two-faced individual because you talk about reducing.
Oh, no, sir. You're looking at somebody who's reading you your own words. You want to invest in gobbledygook and take away money from police officers who actually keep our communities safe, and when you're called on the record, you deny it.
Senator, your reaction to that?
Well, I know Mr. Jackson. He worked for President Biden. He believes that cops are the problem. He believes that cops are a bigger problem than criminals. He believes that if a cop has to shoot a criminal, it's automatically the cop's fault. If a criminal shoots a cop, though, it's the gun's fault. He's part of the loon wing of the Democratic Party. And they just don't believe in free will and responsibility. And as long as they're in charge, particularly in our large urban areas, we're going to continue to have crime. Look, it's not complicated. A guy in prison cannot shoot your sister. It's just very simple. Yeah. And I'm all for rehabilitating when we can, but some people are just bad. You have to separate them from society.
Yeah, I just think of this dad, realizing after the fact, after his daughter's horrific murder, that this person had a rap sheet as long as his arm. Yeah. I want to very quickly, Senator, just give us your recent take on this government shutdown, whether it's going to happen, and what you see at stake here.
We're going to have a shutdown because Senator Schumer and the Democrats want one. It will be further evidence that human evolution is a slow process. There's no reason for the shutdown. What we've asked Senator Schumer and his colleagues to approve is what we've approved 15, 20 times, but they want to shut down because the loon wing of the Democratic Party is...
I'm telling you, they are losing it left and right. Let me tell you this. This is what Trump has been doing. U.S. Coast Guard seizes 12,750 pounds of drugs worth $95 billion off Florida coast. Do you realize how much the cartels hate Trump right now? How much all the gang members, all the drug dealers, they all hate him. There is so much that Trump is doing that doesn't get talked about enough. But even something like this, not allowing drugs into our country, making sure that we have a clean country. This is huge. I love this. And I love that we are continuing to win time and time again. Trump has been right about a lot of things. And whenever you hear this, you know without a shadow of a doubt that whatever happened to the Democrats, whoever got paid off, whoever got bought off, we are exposing them for literally putting money before America. Listen to this.
Well, you're aware of the CHNV, the parole programs that the previous administration was involved in, bringing people in. People here were allowed to sponsor individuals to come in from certain countries. As I said, we found organizations here that were involved in sponsoring many, many individuals. They did not know necessarily the individuals they were sponsoring. They were doing almost a blanket sponsorship. That is fraud. That's something that should have been caught.
Wow.
It's something that I know the previous administration was aware of how the sponsorships were happening, and no action was taken. I'm glad to see that we're taking action.
50% of Islamic migrants in Minnesota committed immigration fraud. Guys, I'm telling you, if we are not exposing everything, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, we're doing some big stuff. We're going to show you a lot of things that you don't see on mainstream media, but the biggest breaking news we want you to see, because it is big. There's so much that's happening that I love it, that we have such a strong cabinet team under Trump, and his whole dream team is just kicking butt right now. Listen to this.
For if y'all had the leadership over, what are they asking for? Because you guys made it very clear, you just want a clean CR. What do they want in return?
Yeah, so Lawrence, I want to answer that, but let's step back for a second, because I think it's important for the American people to realize that the far left faction of Senate Democrats shut down the government because we wouldn't give them hundreds of billions of dollars for health care benefits for illegal aliens. It's actually not even all Senate Democrats. I was really gratified to see that a few of the moderate Senate Democrats voted with Senate Republicans last night to keep the government open. This is basically Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer, he's worried he's going to get a primary challenge from AOC, and so he's shutting down the people's government to give in to sort of the left-wing coalition and their party. And it's craziness, and people are going to suffer because of it. I mean, people who benefit from low-income food programs are going to suffer because of this. If you're flying today, I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time, but you may not arrive on time because the TSA and the air traffic controllers are not getting paid today. Our military is not getting paid today, starting today. And obviously, the longer this drags on, the worse that it is for the American people. So we are where we are. And to your point, what do Senate Democrats ask for? Well, initially, they said that they wanted to shut down the government because Donald Trump was a dictator. Okay, that's absurd. Then they said they wanted to shut down the government because they wanted hundreds of billions of dollars for health care benefits for illegal aliens. That, of course, is also absurd. And now they're saying they just want to work on ensuring that Americans have low-cost health care. Well, I agree with them. Of course, we all want to ensure that Americans have low-cost health care, so let's work together on that. You don't shut the government down. You don't take the government as a hostage because you want to engage in a negotiation about health care costs. Let's do that negotiation, but let's do it in the context of actually opening the government and ensuring those essential services are actually provided to the American people.
Speaker Johnson has a video running continuously outside of his office, and he also posted it on social media because the Democrats, when you go in the Wayback Machine, they were always the one that thought that these shutdowns were reckless. Listen to this, Mr. Vice President.
It is not normal to shut down the government when we don't get what we want.
If the government shuts down, it will be average Americans who suffer most. A government shutdown means seniors who rely on Social Security could be.
You just hear, and it's got the music, so I'm going to turn this off. But look, they're all saying the exact same thing. And right now, OMB Director Russ Vought is right now briefing the House Republicans on how he's going to be terminating federal workers during the shutdown to reduce the size of government. I'm telling you, this whole voice, I will go as far as to say this, everybody. If Biden had their way, if the Democrats had their way with the censorship and misinformation, if we tried to post the videos previously of the Democrats saying that they don't approve of a government shutdown, it would probably be taken down by platforms. Let me know your thoughts, because to me, that's where we were heading. They were literally shutting down every conservative voice, everybody, if they did not align with the narrative coming from the Biden administration. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Andy, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Said COVID was intended to hurt people with A and O blood types mostly. It was lab-created Frankenstein virus that changed people's DNA with the touch of AIDS added to the mix. I know it's bad. Y'all show Andy some love in the chat. What's worse is that we don't know the full effects of how it is going to affect people long term. Y'all show Andy some love in the chat, and don't forget to show Gina some love in the chat for her gifted 10 memberships on the channel. Let's go.
Well, then why didn't they vote to continue the funding?
That's such a good point, and I see that Mike Johnson has apparently learned from the trolling master, President Donald Trump, by putting that video outside of his office, just throwing the Democrats' words right back at him. But it's actually such an important point. You don't shut the government down because you have a policy disagreement. These are two separate questions. There are essential services that have already been appropriated, where we've already agreed, you know, we want our military to have a certain amount of payment. We want air traffic control to have a certain amount. We want to ensure that a certain number of people are able to access food benefits. You don't shut down the government because you have a policy disagreement about a totally separate issue, and that's what the Democrats have done. And it really is astonishing to go back 20 years. I mean, I pretty much the entire time, guys, that I've paid attention to American politics, I have seen Democrats stand before the American people and say, you don't shut down the government because you're not getting what you want. And here they are last night, the far left faction of Senate Democrats, they shut down the government. Why? Because they're not getting what they want. And what makes it extra preposterous, guys, if you actually listen to what they say that they want to ensure this, it's a premium support program under Obamacare that they want to keep going. Well, that premium support program doesn't even expire until next year. So why are you shutting down the government on October the 1st because of a program that doesn't even expire for another few months? Let's talk about it. Let's negotiate. Let's do what you do in Washington, D.C. Don't shut down the government because you don't get what you want. That's exactly what Senate Democrats have done in this case.
So let's just put up a full screen. You mentioned some of it, of the potential effects of the government shutdown. Mass furloughs, federal employees and active duty military members don't get paychecks. We have travel delays. You mentioned TSA, Social Security and SNAP and WI and WIC applications, delays in Medicare and Medicaid payments, some VA services and career counseling. So these are some of the things that will happen. Smithsonian could be closed, National Zoo. I hope someone feeds the animals, but we're not going to be able to see the animals.
Of course they're going to feed the
animals. Can we talk about another thing that could be happening? Could Democrats begin to crack? Now, Rand Paul's on his own planet for some reason, doesn't want to vote for anything, but Fetterman, Masto, Cortez Masto, as well as Angus King, all voted with the Republicans in the Senate where he used to work.
And I want to show you this. Remember, the number one thing that they're hanging their head on is straight from the Democratic proposal, straight from Rapid Response 47 from Trump's cabinet team, the actual text of the OBBB section ending health care for illegals repealed in the Democrats' proposal. Right here, highlighted in yellow, section 71109, alien Medicaid eligibility. That right there, I'm telling you, everybody, that's why they shut down the government. They're losing their constituents. There's no way for them to win a true election now that common sense is like, it's not even Democrat versus Republican policy. It's just common sense versus crazy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Are you hearing there could be other Democrats who don't want to go through this before the weekend and vote with you?
Yeah, Brian, I think that there will be. And if you look, frankly, when I talked to the president and our legislative team yesterday afternoon, I thought we would get 53, 54 votes. We got 55 votes because, again, that moderate faction of the Senate Democrats recognizes this is just an unreasonable position. You're not going to shut down the government because you disagree about a funding program that doesn't even expire for another few months. So I think what's going to happen is that as the political pressure builds and as we continue to have these negotiations, you're going to see more and more Democrats come to the side of reason and reopen the government. But look, I'd offer right now to the Senate Democrats, I'm happy. I will go to the Capitol right now to talk to Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats about premium support for the Affordable Care Act, but only after they've reopened the government. You can't reward this exercise in hostage taking, which is what we would be doing if we allowed the government opening to be conditional on the Democrats' policy disagreements. So we're going to negotiate with them. We, of course, want to lower health care costs for the American people. Look, we inherited this economy from the Biden administration. We know that health care costs were way too high under the Biden administration. By the way, it's one of the reasons why the president announced yesterday that we're lowering prescription drug costs for all Americans by forcing Europeans and other countries to pay their fair share so that Americans can pay lower costs. So we obviously care a lot about lowering health care costs for Americans, but we're not going to engage in negotiation with hostage takers, which is exactly what the Democrats have done. Now, I think, Brian, it was you who listed off some of the problems that come along with the shutdown. Let me add another one. This is October. We are entering hurricane season all across the southeastern part of our country. Flood insurance for a lot of the people who are suffering from hurricanes or could suffer from hurricanes is going to disappear because the government is shut down. Let's reopen the government. Let's fix some of the core issues that exist for our country. And then let's negotiate about the Democrats' health care policy ideas, which we're happy to do, but only when the government is open.
Well, Mr. Vice President, one of the lies that continues to be told is that they're not giving funding to illegals' health care. Can you explain to our audience why that's not true?
Yeah, so this is a Democrat talking point. They say we're not actually trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens, and here's why it's not true. There are two Biden-era programs that explicitly gave the taxpayer health care money to illegal aliens that we turned off when President Trump took over in January. Program number one is there's a lot of emergency health care at hospitals that are provided to illegal aliens. That was funded by the federal government. We turned off that funding because, of course, we want American citizens to benefit from those hospital services, not to be taxed and then to have those hospital services go to illegal aliens. The second of which is the Biden administration gave mass parole to millions upon millions of illegal aliens, and then they simultaneously made those parolees eligible for health care benefits funded by taxpayers. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, President Trump and congressional Republicans turned off that money to health care funding for illegal aliens. The Democrats want to turn it back on. And in their initial proposal, the first thing that they put out to reopen the government, they actually turned that money for health care benefits for illegal aliens back on. So it's not something that we made up. It's not a talking point. It is in the text of the bill that they initially gave to us to reopen the government. It's preposterous for them to run away from it now. But look, let's set that all to the side. Let's open up the government. Let's negotiate on all of these healthcare policy issues. Obviously, we're not going to support healthcare benefits for illegal aliens, but we will work with them to lower healthcare costs for American citizens if they're willing to do so.
Guy, I'm telling you, we are calling everybody out, and I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest things right now that we are exposing, that it's not just from one side. It's not just that the Democrats are choosing to do this. There is money behind this shutdown from the Democrat side, and that's why we have to fight it, everybody. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, and if you're watching not a part of the family yet, you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button. Remember, when you're a member of the channel, but also if you give a super chat donation, we donate live on stream to a local charity on the 22nd of every single month. And I want to give some special love to those that have given today. Andy, thank you so much, brother, for your support. Jeffrey Had, B1 Sly One with the gifted 5 TrueLife News memberships. Fred Samuel, Gina with the super chat, as well as the 10 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Show Gina some love in the chat. Darcy Charlock, Lily, Shara, Stephanie, Terry Parson, Steve's Gardening Adventures. Thank you so much, Lori Rapier. Y'all show them some love in the chat. Guys, big show today. We are moving forward. Thank you so much for sharing our videos, liking our videos. And remember, if this is our sponsor, if you're on Medicare, you're about to be on it, this is for free. They're going to take care of you. You call this number, the 667-895-3015. You tell them that Joel sent you. They're going to take care of you, compare every single Medicare plan out there, and make sure that you're saving money as much as possible. They've saved seniors on average $1,100. And I don't know about y'all, that's a lot of money. But I want you to be taken care of. And it means so much to me when y'all watch, you like the videos, you support. And however I can, in partnering with these sponsors and helping you be informed, let me know and I can help serve you more. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.